What's good, Nessa gang? Welcome back to my channel. If you're a new viewer, please hit that subscribe button and be a part of Nessa gang, because Nessa gang is the littlest gang of all gangs. Before I get into the story time, I just want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by BetterHelp. That long script that I put in the beginning was the information for that, and it'll also be at the end of this video. I'm gonna be reading off of this notebook. I wrote it all down so I didn't get off a topic, because a person like me will tell you a story and then tell you 5 stories within that one story, and this video will be an hour and 20 minutes long, and I won't even tell you the whole purpose of the video. Like, it's bad. This is a very touchy topic and I get asked about this quite often, so I just felt like if I made a video, this will be the last time that I have to ever talk about it. If somebody wants to know, I just refer them back to the video, and that's that. Before we jump into the story, let's talk about BetterHelp. Long story short, BetterHelp is just an affordable counseling program. Okay, so many of us say that we're fine in situations because we don't know how to explain what's really going on, but in our reality, we're not fine and we probably need some help. Let's be honest, the world isn't perfect. Everybody's gonna have their ups and downs, right? This is exactly why counseling is a great thing to resort to, especially on those days where you feel like you're super alone and you have nowhere else to go or anybody else to turn to. Personally, I've gotten counseling before for multiple reasons. I disagreed with them each and every time, only because I thought that they were for crazy people. But then again, I was way younger, so I didn't really know the real benefits of it. Instead of counseling, I found out that writing is a better way for me to really express how I feel without having to tell anybody or be afraid of somebody judging me or thinking I'm crazy or just anything. It just really helps get my mind off of things. It makes me feel way better. But yeah, sometimes people actually need a counselor, somebody to sit there and talk to them through their problems. I, however, did not, but don't knock it until you try it. So for the longest time I could remember, I've been writing. This is just one of many journals that I have, which I will be reading you some things that I wrote. So if you're going through some things and you don't quite know where to turn to, who to go, what method to use, I advise you to check out BetterHelp, because why not? Honestly, you could just check it out for a week, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But like I said, don't knock it until you try it. I'm gonna stop talking and get into the story time. Hopefully I don't cry. I don't think I am, but who knows. Okay, so like I said before, I'm reading off of this paper because I wrote a whole bunch of details and key points that I want to tell you guys when I'm telling this story, just so that it flows perfectly. So before I get into the video, the incident, what happened, how it happened, all of that, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my brother and about our relationship, and kind of, you know, like basically just put you in my shoes. So, me and my brother were mad close when I was younger. He was a dope big brother. He was always out and about, and when he was around, it was always super fun. My brother always took me sledding, snowboarding, out for walks, bike rides. We made snow forts together. He would always tell me I was his little dog. My brother was super funny, the type of funny that just came naturally. Always made everyone in the room smile, at least when it wasn't on his bad side. Honestly, I don't think we ever fought unless I stepped on his shoes. Now I understand. My brother was very outgoing and a very social person. I always see new faces and new girlfriends. On top of being super funny, outgoing, social, and fun, he was also very bold with a temper. That got him in trouble oh so much. Always getting suspended, expelled, skipping school to go to his friend's school, and some more stuff. He never cared about what people thought or had to say about him, and he feared nobody. That same exact attitude and boldness is the same exact thing that got him in trouble over and over again. Now let me fast forward. My brother got locked up twice from what I could remember, and for long periods of time. I would see him and visit him with my mom from time to time, but I didn't really know what was going on, and with time we ended up drifting apart, but that's mainly because he kept getting transferred from place to place. We went so long without seeing each other, and I was so young that we just started drifting apart, and I felt like I didn't know him anymore. I went from writing him once to twice a week, which led to every other week, which led to every other month, and then eventually I stopped. Visiting was every other weekend, then every month, then I never seen him again. Now that I look back at it and think about it, that is so messed up, because if I was put in his shoes, I would probably be really depressed, because it's like I am away from everybody. I'm hopeless, I'm helpless, I can't do anything. I really have to sit in here all this time and nobody's writing me, at least, you know? Anyways, let me fast forward again. When my brother finally got out for the last time, I was in about 7th or 8th grade. I was a teenager now, so I changed a lot since we even could hold a decent conversation. All he knew about me was what my mom told him, and they were mad close. And you know how Hispanics are when something goes down. If something happens at 9 o'clock, everybody in the family will know by 9:10. So basically, word spread fast, and whatever she would say, she would exaggerate it times 10. She'd always tell him about my attitude, and I mean, I never talked to him or held a conversation with him for a long time. So basically, that's all that he knew of me. I was always made out to be the really bad kid that was always out in the streets, but in all reality, I was a straight A student that really didn't want to do anything but arts and crafts or go outside to the neighbor's house. But they treated me like I needed to go to some boot camp or something. But because of that, once my brother got out of jail, and thinking that he knows me already through my mom, we became distant because he got really strict and started getting disrespectful because he thought I deserved it. He then turned from my favorite person to my least favorite person. Now let's fast forward again to my junior year of high school. Whenever we did talk, he would always say off the wall stuff like, "You don't love me anymore," or "Life is hard. Sometimes I just don't want to live anymore," or "Maybe I don't have a purpose in life. I don't even think I could have kids." Basically, like, his life was going downhill, and I never understood or cared to really ask about it, because I'm just thinking like, oh my god, this guy is suicidal. I done had to deal with all these people that were suicidal, blah 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 blah, and whatever. I thought he was just talking. He just got depressed out of nowhere. I didn't really understand, and even if I did ask why, I'm pretty sure he gave me the runaround. Now let's fast forward one more time. It's senior year, and he tells me that he has a baby on the way. He tells me that he's actually really excited, which shocks me because he don't really get excited about too many things. So at this point, everything's all good, except for the fact that for a long period of time, he was asking me for large amounts of money, from 20 to 150, and I'll borrow it to him because he has a good mouthpiece. He can convince you to do anything, and everybody that knows him well knows that. For what reason he needed that money, I don't know, but he's my brother, so I was like, here you go. Let me just get into the day when it all went down. I'm done telling y'all the backstory about my brother and our relationship. Now I'm going to read my old journal. That's when I remember it the most, and so this is going to give you the most details. Okay, so I named the book Hello Kitty because Hello Kitty, duh. Dear Hello Kitty, I'm in the basement of my friend's house and I'm feeling some type of way. I was going through my stuff and ran across this journal. I'm just thinking about my life and stuff, how I'm all by myself. I'm crying right now, actually. I miss my brother so much. Looking at my tattoo and the picture of him, I even set it as my background picture on my laptop. Okay, so let me just pause that. I originally had my brother's name tatted on my wrist right here, but it was written in cursive, and instead of Armando, because that was his name, it said Arnando, so I just had to get it covered. Back to the story. I don't want to be bothered at all. I want my sister Whitney with me right now. I want to get ready and go downtown or somewhere and see the beautiful view. I want to see the world. I want to see life. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just hurting right now so much. Damn, I want my brother back. 20 days ago. 20 days ago is when I lost my loving brother Armando Cruz. Rest in paradise, Mondo. I love you so much, and it's so hard for me to accept the fact fact that you're gone sometimes. I at least just wish that I had one last tight bear hug from you. So many memories, good and bad, mostly good, and that's all that matters. I remember the time we lived in Comstock and I was so young. He was about a freshman. He loved me so much, man, and took me as much places as he could, and he was always proud of me. He took me snowboarding and stuff for the first time. Good laughs. I remember him smoking and stuff, and he didn't listen to my mom, so I would try to get him to at least use a filter if he was gonna do it. Everybody loved Mondo. Man, I remember the 3rd as if it were yesterday. The incident happened March 3rd, 2014. Man, I remember the 3rd as if it was yesterday. It was a bright sunny day. I was waiting on top of the windowsill with my friend, just waiting for class to start, when all of a sudden I got that phone call. Damn, man, that phone call killed me. I swear it did. I'm surprised I didn't faint or fall to the ground. My mom called me screaming at the top of her lungs. Legit screaming, crying. I was so scared I froze.
Hello?
Vanessa! I can't even... I wish y'all could hear the scream that she was saying. It was so scary. I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? She continues to scream and can't even talk. Vanessa, I need you here.
Mom, what's going on? What's happening?
I'm so nervous and angry because the first thing that came into my head was that she got abused by her boyfriend. I look at my friend and I'm like, do you hear what I hear? He's like, what? He's trying to get close to hear, but I'm like backing up. I don't know what's going on. Her roommate takes the phone and speaks since my mom can't talk. She says, hello? I'm like, hello? Yeah, this is so-and-so. Your mom just got a call from so-and-so. Your brother got in a car accident and he didn't make it.
What? I didn't hear you.
I said your brother got into a car accident and he didn't make it.
I'm on my way.
I quickly called my boyfriend at the time and I told him, look, you need to come now. You need to pick me up. He's asking me what's going on. And I'm like, dude, just get here and get here now. So he picked me up, and while he's driving me to the house, I had called my sister. I don't know why that was my first instinct, but I had called my sister. I'm like, look, I got this phone call saying Manu didn't make it. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I just pulled up at my mom's house. I'll talk to you later. I went inside and my mom was curled up in a ball on the couch crying while the roommate was next to her taking phone calls. I hurry up next to my mom and I just hold her. We cry together for a long second. I am not a emotional person, especially something that happens out of the clear blue sky. It felt so unreal, and the only thing you want to do at that very moment is just have that person pull up and be like, oh, it's all a joke, or what are you guys talking about? You know, something like that. But it never happens. But that's all from the book. My brother's funeral was not that Friday, but the following Friday, and this is the flower that I got attached, stapled into the notebook I had received from somebody at the funeral, and I was like, I want to preserve this and keep this forever. Let me get more into detail about what actually happened that day. Basically, there are a whole bunch of different stories as to what happened. The people who would see my brother on a daily basis or often, I feel like was holding back on some information. I feel like I was pretty young, and you know, it was a big deal back then, so I don't know if people were afraid to speak out on the truth and what really happened, but this is pretty much the gathered information what everybody thinks. So basically, like I said, my brother was depressed and stuff, and I guess he was hanging around the wrong group of people and he started doing drugs. He was doing them for a while. So one day he was driving. We're from Grand Rapids. We're from Michigan. Michigan, it's a place where the city doesn't like to do anything that they don't have to do, or they're very lazy. Forever have potholes that never get taken care of, streets never plowed, stuff like that. So basically, the highway was plowed, but they plowed it all into the corners every morning, or whenever they actually did it. The snow was pushed to the edges. After a while, it turned into ice, and it was like this, so it served as a ramp all down the highway. So basically, my brother was under the influence and he fell asleep on the wheel, and he made a quick right turn and he flew off of the bridge, because it was a bridge, and on the bottom of a bridge it was like concrete because the bridge has to get held up because there was like a river there or something. So there was like a brick wall right there, and when he flew off, he hit the brick wall and the car blew up. So he burned to death. So that was what happened. I was very disturbed and I could not accept the fact that nobody really knew and the stories were here and the stories were there. I was, I don't know, 18 and I was trying to figure it out. I was asking everybody information. I didn't know anything about his friends or who his whereabouts or anything, but I was determined to figure it out. I'm asking all the girls he's ever talked to. The stories are all over the place. I'm calling people, I'm taking numbers down, I'm trying to write stuff down. I'm pretty sure I still probably have it in my notes, but for a good 6 months I could not leave it go, which is why I let BetterHelp sponsor this video, because it kind of goes hand in hand. I wish that I could have had counseling at that time because that was a very bad time in my life. So the family was together. Everybody was like, at least he blessed us with a little boy before he left. That's what everybody was looking forward to. Everyone was like, Mondo, I promise you I'm gonna look after him, I'm gonna do this, do that. I even wrote in one of my diaries, I'm like, I'm gonna take care of him. That's gonna be my, you know what, I'm gonna read that too. I'll be right back. Please make sure you check out BetterHelp if you're going through some things. Just check it out for at least a week. The sign-up process is really easy. I'm going to leave the information in the description, and at the end of this video I'm going to place the paragraph explaining it more into details before you actually do this. Make sure you thumb this up, and I don't need anybody to comment anything negative in the description because you will get a smooth block. But overall, thank you for watching this video to the end. I love you, Nessa Gang, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.